Mela, how are you?
I'm good, thanks.
I think it's been quite a while since we last saw each other. Must have been 7 years ago during the despedida of Amy.
That's right.
Your kids were like this high, so they must be really grown up by now.
They're 10 and 12, both as tall as I am now.
Really?
Yeah. How about you? What's this new thing you're doing? Weren't you flying with Pal?
Yes, I was. I was with them for quite a number of years, but I resigned some time ago. And today I'm a financial consultant with PruLife UK. Here's my card. As a financial consultant, I help people understand and achieve their financial goals. Have you heard of PruLife UK?
No, not really. I'm afraid not.
Okay, to give you a background, PruLife UK is an insurance company that was established here in 1996.
That's pretty new.
Well, yeah, you could say that. But we are a subsidiary of financial services giant Prudential PLC, which was established in the UK in the 1800s.
Oh, okay.
So we may
That's
not
really
be that
old.
young after all.
Okay.
Yeah. Quite ancient, as a matter of fact.
Right.
But regardless of our age, PruLife UK has made quite a mark since we opened shop here in the Philippines. For instance, in 2002, we pioneered in the sale of what we call the unit or investment-linked insurance programs. We were also one of the companies who were first given approval to market US dollar-denominated insurance programs. So that and all our achievements have certainly revolutionized the industry and pushed PruLife UK up the leaderboard of insurers here in the country.
Wow.
So today, as I mentioned on the phone, I'd like to share with you a unique and exciting idea that a lot of our clients have found to be truly interesting and valuable. It's called life stage financial planning. Here we take a look at a person's needs and priorities and see how they evolve as they go through different life stages. May I walk you through the life stages?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so everybody goes through different life stages. We start by looking at our young and single professionals. These are the kids fresh out of college, finally landing that first job, and can't wait to spend that first paycheck. So Mela, I have a throwback question for you. Do you remember your first job and what did you do with that first paycheck?
Oh, of course I went shopping. Yeah, I went to the mall thinking I could buy everything. And so I was able to buy clothes, shoes. I love bags.
So you spent a lot on bags?
Yeah.
That's your weakness?
Yeah. Yeah, and you just think that there's money all the time.
Well, today I think for the kids, their weakness is the latest gadgets in the markets that gets them weak in the knees.
Oh, yeah.
And I also noticed that the kids today travel a lot. But do you think, Mela, do they save?
I don't think so. I didn't.
So after a few years, our single young professional meets someone really nice. They get married, and soon enough, the first child comes along. This brings them to the next stage, which is building a family. Now here we see a big change in their spending habits as the family's needs and children's education become top priority. And certainly, the more children there are, the bigger the family's expenses will be. And depending on the age gap of the children, our proud parent stage could really extend and potentially be the longest in terms of time. But then again, like they say, time flies, and before you know it, the children grow up and are ready to finish college. So this brings you to our next stage, which is pre-retirement. Not quite there yet, but almost done. But Mela, I have a quick story about this pre-retirement stage. A few months ago, I was talking to this female client of mine, and we were going through the life stages like we are now. And we were both gushing about how we are both in the pre-retirement stage and really looking forward to our retirement, where we could do a lot of the things we couldn't do before. But guess what, Mela?
What?
After a month, I get a call from her. She's pregnant.
Really? Oh no!
But anyway, if you haven't already, this is really the time to start preparing for the next life stage, which is retirement. Let me ask you, Mela, how would you define retirement?
Okay. Retirement would be when your company tells you that you have to stop working because you're old.
Actually, that's quite right.
Yeah, because that's how it works, right?
If you'd ask Mr. Webster would say that retirement is the act of ending your working or professional career. But how many times do you hear this, Mela? People would say, when I retire, I'll go into business.
All
That's
the time.
not actually retiring, right? So why do people say this? Because they know that when they retire, the utility bills don't retire with them. The need for food, shelter, and clothing continue. They go on till your last breath. Also, by this time, you may already have health concerns that could be a financial issue if you're not prepared. So really, while retirement is something we all look forward to, would you agree, Mela, that in this stage, there is a real concern of eventually running out of money?
Oh, absolutely.
That's right. So let's recap from our life stages, the single, young professional to the retiree. What would you say is one thing a person needs, regardless of which life stage they're in?
Money, of course. Some form of income.
Absolutely. And talking about needs, I'd like now to focus on 4 major ones, which I think we should and can prepare for.
Okay.
The first one is protection. Mela, you work and provide for your children, right?
Yeah, Cecil, as you very well know, I'm a single mom. And I alone take care of their needs and raise them by myself.
Then your income is important to them, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Can you imagine how your children would cope should something unexpected happen to you?
I cannot even start to think of how they can manage without me.
Yeah, it must be a terrible thought.
Yeah,
But then it's important for us to protect that income.
that's true.
Okay, then the next, we also have children's education. Sending children to school can be very expensive. I'm sure you know that. But if we plan ahead, then it's something that we can definitely save for. Then we have our third need, which is the medium to long-term savings. Every family dreams of having their own home, or buying a car, or going on travels together. But these things are not readily affordable to ordinary people like you and me. But it's not impossible to acquire these things if we only save for it, don't you think so?
Yeah, because usually people take out loans to do these things. And the interest rates are killers.
That's right.
And the bank charges are terrible.
That's right. So the best thing to do, save for it. Okay? Then the fourth need, again, we have retirement. Everybody dreams of a comfortable retirement. How about you, Mela? What would you like to do if and when you retire?
Oh, my retirement it's a dream. Okay, so me and my best friend, we want to, when the kids are like on their own, we want to go and see the world. Like go around the world, see every place that we could ever see. Visit Africa, all these exotic places. And, have a chance to meet all these gorgeous men.
Gorgeous men, really?
Yeah.
Well, why not? You should go for it. So, Mela, of these 4 needs, would you say that retirement is your priority today? Or would it be protection, children's education, or medium to long-term savings?
You got me really excited thinking about retirement and seeing the world. But to be practical, I really should choose protection. It's my priority right now because my children are still young.
So, Mela, should anything happen to you, how much would it take to sustain your family's needs until your children are more or less on their own?
I have no idea.
Well, we could toss around some numbers and see what kind of figures we can come up with. Would you like that?
Yeah, it sounds a little bit scary, but I'm curious. Let's do it.
So now I'll be asking you a few questions, Mela, and I assure you whatever information you share with me will remain confidential, all right? So let's start. What would you say is your family's monthly expense?
I would say 60,000 a month.
60,000. Okay, at 60,000, you have an annual budget of about 720,000.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And your youngest daughter is, you said, 10 years old?
That's true.
So, Mela, at what age do you think will she become financially independent?
Well, kids usually finish college at 21, so 11 years, I would say.
So 11 years from now. Okay, so let's get that number and multiply it by your annual budget. And you now have a product of about 7.9 million pesos. So this now becomes your family's protection need. In other words, should something unexpected happen to you, this is the amount that's needed to sustain your family until your children are all on their own.
Wow.
Sounds big, right? But let's see. Do you have any existing insurance policies or savings that you think could already be a provision for this protection need?
Yeah, I have an insurance coverage of $1 million.
Any savings or investments?
Yeah, 500,000 here and there.
Total?
1.5.
Right. Okay, so you already have 1.5. Now let's see if there's a gap between what you already have and what you need. So it looks like you still have a gap of about 6.4 million pesos.
That's still a lot of money.
So we need to try to close that gap. So Mela, if I could show you a way to do that, would you be interested?
Oh, definitely.
Well, of course, it would require some amount of saving on your part. How much can you set aside on a monthly basis for this need? About 10,000. Would that be all right for you?
For now, I don't think I can afford 10,000. What about 5,000?
Does that sound more like your budget?
Yeah, for now, I'm paying off my monthly amortization for my car, which probably would be over in 6 months. So, yeah, so I could give more then.
So you'd say 5,000 is your minimum, or is that already the most that you can afford today?
For now, that would be my maximum.
So you're willing to save 5,000 a month for your protection need.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd like to show you here an illustration I have for a 30-year-old client, just a little younger than yourself, who's also willing to save 5,000 a month. This is our PruLink Assurance Account Plus. It's a variable insurance program that offers both savings and protection benefits. Okay, for your 60,000 a year, we can cover you for 1 million pesos in case of death, or total and permanent disability, or critical illness if diagnosed after 90 days. On top of that, we can give you an accident coverage of over 1 million pesos. However, going back to our calculations earlier, we're still quite short of our goal of 6.4 million, right?
Right.
So what we can do is maybe next year I'll come back and see you again, and maybe even the year after. Let's review your plan as well as your finances and see how we can get closer to your target. Would that be all right?
Yeah, that would be great.
Anyway, Mela, I have great news for you. Aside from the already amazing protection benefits this plan offers, it also has fantastic savings benefits. Because while you were saving for your family's protection need, we invested your money in one of our PruLink funds. In this case, it's the PruLink Proactive Fund, which today gives a return of 6.77% per year. So Mela, feast your eyes on these numbers. After 20 years, you would have saved 1.8 million pesos. After 30 years, your investment would have grown to more than 4 million. And after 35 years, which is about the time you're going to retire, you have more than 5 million pesos. Isn't that great?
Yeah, that's amazing.
However, I do have to say that these values are not guaranteed. The amounts that you see here are based on the fund's actual performance for the past 36 months. It won't always be the same. It could be higher or lower.
I totally understand. I have some experience in investments, and I know that it's not guaranteed and we just have to be vigilant, right?
Absolutely. So that's great. Additionally, the values are already net of all company charges. We have insurance charges, policy fees, any rider charges, and the annual management charge. So in summary, Mela, this plan will give you all these amazing benefits by regularly saving 60,000 a year or 5,000 a month. And what is it you said about your retirement plans? What is it you wanted to do?
Oh, I wanted to see the world. I mean, go around the world.
Well, Mela, I hope you're an expert at packing a suitcase, because with this program, I think you're going to be able to do it, maybe even twice.
Wow, that's wonderful.
So Mela, what do you think of this program? Or you can try saving your money in the bank. I think you'll be hard-pressed to find a bank that can grow your money like this and at the same time care and protect your family the way Pru Life UK can.
I don't think there's any bank that would be able to offer me all of this.
That's right. And I also like to emphasize to my young friends like yourself, there's one big advantage you have over me, and that's time. Time is an important factor in growing your money, so don't waste it. So I'd like to ask you, Mela, now, can we start this program today?
Sure, if it's going to protect my family, I don't see why not. And if you can assure me that I can find that boyfriend when I go on the trips.
A boyfriend? Oh, well, sorry, Mela, but that's another thing that Pru Life UK cannot guarantee. But
Okay.
come on, Mela, we don't need our help in that department.
Okay.
So, let's start your program today?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, but what I need to do now is I need to go back to my office and prepare a personalized plan for you. But before I do that, I'd like to ask you for additional information if you don't mind.
No.
I have a client suitability assessment form and I'd like to go through some questions with you. Is that all right?
That's all right.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing this information with me, Mela. After I've prepared all your forms, may I see you again? Are you free tomorrow, maybe same time?
Tomorrow, same time, I don't think so. But I have an idea. Why don't you come over for dinner tomorrow in the house, say 6 to 7 o'clock?
That will be great. I'd love that.
Okay.
Thank you. So, Mela, how did you find our meeting this morning?
I have to be honest with you. You know, I almost said no. I mean, I actually wanted to say no, knowing that, you know, you were in insurance. But now that I'm here, I'm pleasantly surprised that, you know, this is all interesting. And I find our tete-a-tete really informative.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you feel that way.
Yeah. I'm glad I came.
Thank you. I hope you don't mind, Mela. You think I could ask you for a little bit more assistance?
Sure.
Well, you see, in my business, I need to continue meeting new people. Do you think you can share like 3 names with me of friends or relatives or co-workers whom you think can benefit from our programs?
Okay, you know that best friend I was telling you about that I wanted to go around the world with? Her name's Claire Derovay. Okay, she's separated from her French husband.
Is she working? Any kids?
She has one, a 6-year-old. She runs the beauty salon in the village. Is that a good candidate for you?
I think so.
You know what I can do? I can have her come over for dinner tomorrow night.
Really?
Yeah, so you can talk to her about True Life.
Oh, that would be great. So aside from Claire, do you have anybody else in mind?
Yeah, but not on top of my head. Why don't I look over my phone and I can make you a list and put the same information?
Yes, that will be great. And when I call them, you think it's all right for me to mention that you and I have done work together?
Oh, go ahead, of course.
Of course, I'll let you know the results of my call.
Yeah, do that.
Okay. Well, you know, Mela, I'm not going to keep you any longer.
Okay.
Thank you so much for seeing me today.
Oh,
it
you're
was
so
indeed a
welcome.
pleasure. And I will see you again tomorrow.
Okay, I look forward to that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye for now.